If you're over 60 and doing habit number 1 on this list, you could be cutting 10 years off your life. And it's not smoking, it's not drinking, and it's not even staying up late. In fact, staying up late is only number 3. So what could possibly be worse? I'm about to reveal 4 habits that are quietly stealing years from people over 60. These aren't the obvious ones you've heard 1,000 times. These are the everyday behaviors that seem completely harmless, but science shows they're aging you faster than you think. I'm counting down from number 4 to number 1. By the end, you'll understand why some people thrive well into their 80s while others decline rapidly. More importantly, you'll know exactly what to do about it. Let's start with number 4. Carrie is 73. Retired teacher. Loves mystery novels. Every morning after breakfast, she'd sink into her favorite armchair with a book. Hours would pass. Lunch would come and go. Then the afternoon shows. More sitting. More hours in that same spot. When her doctor flagged early warning signs of diabetes, Margaret was confused. She walked every evening. She ate reasonably well. What was going wrong? The answer: she was sitting for 8 to 10 hours a day. Habit number 4 is prolonged sitting without movement breaks. A 2017 study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine tracked over 8,000 adults and found something alarming. Sitting more than 6 hours daily increased early death risk by 19% compared to those sitting under 3 hours. For people over 60, the damage accelerates because your body loses its ability to bounce back from inactivity. When you sit for extended periods, your metabolism crashes. Blood sugar spikes. Circulation slows. Inflammation rises throughout your entire system. Your body interprets prolonged sitting as a signal to start shutting down. But Carrie discovered something powerful. She didn't need to exercise more. She needed to sit less. She bought a simple kitchen timer. Every 45 minutes, it buzzes. She stands up and moves for 5 minutes. Sometimes she folds laundry, waters plants. She just walks to the mailbox and back. Within 2 months, her blood sugar normalized. She dropped the pre-diabetic label entirely. The fix for prolonged sitting isn't more exercise. It's movement distribution. If you're sitting for hours watching television, reading, or working at a computer, set a timer. Every hour, move for 5 minutes. Walk around your house. Do gentle stretches. The goal isn't intensity. It's consistency. Your body needs regular reminders that you're still living, not shutting down. Now, before we get to number 3, if you're getting value from this, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me which habit hits closest to home. I actually read every comment, and it helps me know what content to create next. All right, number 3. This is the one I mentioned at the start. Staying up late. Michael is 68. Night owl his entire life. Even in retirement, he'd stay up until 1 or 2 in the morning working on woodworking projects, watching late shows, browsing online. He'd sleep until 9 or 10 and feel fine. But when his doctor reviewed his annual physical, something stood out. Elevated blood pressure. Cognitive tests showing slight decline. Early markers of cardiovascular stress. Michael thought he was getting enough sleep. 7, sometimes 8 hours. The problem wasn't quantity. It was timing. A 2021 study in the European Heart Journal followed nearly 90,000 people and discovered that those who went to bed between 10 and 11 p.m. had the lowest risk of cardiovascular disease. Going to bed after midnight increased heart disease risk by 40%, especially in people over 60. Why does this matter so much as you age? Your circadian rhythm, your internal body clock, becomes increasingly important after 60. When you stay up past 11 or midnight regularly, you're disrupting the precise hormonal timing your body needs to repair itself. Late nights suppress melatonin production when your body needs it most for cellular repair. Growth hormone, which peaks during early deep sleep, gets disrupted. Your brain misses its optimal window to clear out toxic proteins linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. Think of it this way. Your body has a maintenance crew that only works the night shift. When you stay up late, you're forcing them to work during the day when they're least effective. Michael made one change. Bed by 10:30, no exceptions. 3 weeks later, he noticed sharper thinking during the day. His blood pressure dropped enough that his doctor reduced his medication. He described it as finding energy he'd forgotten he had. If you're regularly staying up past 11, you're choosing accelerated aging. I know that sounds harsh, but the data doesn't lie. Your body needs that early, deep sleep window to keep you healthy long term. Now let's talk about number 2. Elizabeth is 75. She lost her husband 8 years ago. Slowly, quietly, she stopped going places. Bridge club felt too hard without him. Church reminded her of what she'd lost. She convinced herself she was fine alone. Garden, television, routine phone calls with her daughter. It felt like enough. Then she fell in the kitchen. She couldn't get up. 3 hours passed before her daughter happened to call and sensed something was wrong. That moment terrified Elizabeth into realizing something crucial. She'd become completely isolated, and that isolation was destroying her health faster than any disease. Habit number 2 is social isolation. According to a meta-analysis published in Perspectives on Psychological Science reviewing data from over 300,000 people, social isolation increases mortality risk by 26 to 32%. To put that in perspective, researchers compare the health impact to smoking 15 cigarettes daily. When you're isolated, your body responds as if you're under threat. Stress hormones stay elevated. Inflammation increases. Your immune system weakens. Brain deterioration accelerates. But the reverse is equally powerful. The Harvard study of adult development, which has tracked people for over 80 years, found that strong relationships are the #1 predictor of long, healthy lives. Not wealth, not achievement. Relationships. People over 60 with regular social connections have a 50% greater likelihood of survival compared to those who are isolated. They have lower rates of heart disease, dementia, and depression. Elizabeth joined a senior center, started attending a weekly book club, volunteered at a food bank twice a month. She told me something I won't forget. She said reconnecting with people made her want to take care of herself again. She had reasons to get dressed in the morning, people who noticed when she seemed off, conversations that kept her mind engaged. If you're spending most of your time alone, if days pass without real conversation, if you've let friendships fade after retirement or loss, understand this. Isolation isn't just loneliness. It's a physical health crisis. You don't need dozens of friends. You need consistent, meaningful connection. Join one group. Volunteer somewhere. Reconnect with one old friend. Call a sibling weekly. Attend one community event. I know it's hard, especially if you've experienced loss, but your survival depends on it. And now, number 1. The habit stealing more years than anything else on this list. John is 70, recently retired, and constantly worried. Money, his kids' problems, every ache in his body, the news, the economy, politics, health scares. He'd lie awake at night running through worst-case scenarios. Wake up exhausted. Spend the day anxious. Repeat. John never learned to let stress go, and it was killing him. Chronic, unmanaged stress is habit number 1. A study published in Brain, Behavior, and Immunity found that chronic stress in older adults causes telomeres to shorten dramatically. Telomeres are protective caps on your chromosomes that determine cellular aging. People over 60 with high chronic stress had telomeres 9 to 17 years, older than their chronological age. Chronic stress ages you at the DNA level. Constant cortisol, your stress hormone, becomes toxic when it never stops. It damages your cardiovascular system, weakens immunity, accelerates cognitive decline, shrinks brain volume. But the real danger? Stress is the master domino. Chronic stress destroys your sleep, makes you too tired to move, drains energy for social connection, drives poor eating habits. It doesn't just harm you directly. It triggers every other longevity-stealing habit on this list. Many people over 60 wear their worry like a badge. They think anxiety means they're responsible. That stress shows they care. That mindset is fatal. John's doctor delivered a wake-up call. His inflammation markers were through the roof. He was at severe risk for a heart attack. John started therapy, learned basic meditation, just 10 minutes daily, limited news to 15 minutes a day instead of hours, started walking in nature every morning, joined a men's group where he could voice his worries instead of carrying them silently. 6 months later, his blood pressure dropped significantly. Sleep improved. Energy returned. He said something profound. For the first time in years, he felt like he was living instead of just surviving. If you carry chronic stress, if worry dominates your thoughts, if anxiety feels normal to you, hear this clearly. This is the single most dangerous habit for your longevity. More harmful than sitting, more damaging than poor sleep. more deadly than isolation. You need a release valve. Meditation apps like Calm or Headspace offer free trials. Many communities have low-cost therapy through senior centers. Walking in nature costs nothing and reduces cortisol significantly. Journaling works. Prayer works. Talking to trusted friends works. The method matters less than having one. Find your way to release chronic tension, because unmanaged stress will steal more years from you than anything else you do. So there you have it. Prolonged sitting at number 4. Late nights at number 3. Social isolation at number 2. Chronic stress at number 1. Carrie set a timer and reversed prediabetes. Michael adjusted his sleep schedule and dropped his blood pressure. Elizabeth reconnected with community and found purpose. John learned to release worry and potentially added years to his life. You can do this too. Pick one habit. Start today. Not all 4, just one. Small changes compound over time. Which habit resonates most with you? Drop a comment below. And if this helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on living longer and healthier. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today. I'll see you in the next video.